To Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. We got a phone number you can call, and the number's up there, and an email address you can email. That's keneckleslive@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you either by phone or email on this edition of our program. I got an email here that asks me a question I really don't have an answer for. Of course, that there are a few of those. Emailer says, "Ken, what do you think? What do you think about what? What do you think?" Well, let's hold that for a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. Did you get a picture from me today?
A picture in my email? Let me look. It would have been an email, right?
Yes, I believe.
You believe? I did not get a picture from you today in my email. Was somebody supposed to send
Well,
me
I'll
one?
have somebody send it.
So somebody was supposed to send it and they didn't send it.
Well, I believe they thought they sent it. It was the picture of the Undertaker's belt.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It would probably be the picture of the Undertaker's belt, but I don't have it. So I guess you will have to deal with somebody on that.
I'm not going to argue with this person. They're ex-military.
All right. Well, if this is a veteran, then no, don't give a veteran a hard time. They have earned freedom from hard times, so just don't do that.
Well, no, they might get rid of me.
Oh, well, there's also that. Yeah, I guess there are a couple of things to be considered there, and that would be one as well.
You know, I don't want to make enemies of a veteran. No telling what they can do to somebody.
Well, then that's fine. Why don't you just look into it and maybe the picture can still be sent?
Well, I'll go talk to my friend. She'll probably send it again. She's a very nice lady. She's retired from service. She was married to a serviceman. She is service too. He's passed away. Her husband was in the service, retired but passed away. But she's retired from service.
All right. Well, we all appreciate the service of both of them, and whatever is going on with the picture, I'm sure it's something that can be figured out and straightened out, and I'll look forward to getting it.
Oh yeah, you'll like it. I mean, I got to pull it back out the safe.
All right. So, did you actually are you actually wearing the belt in the picture?
No, it is not for wearing. It's for showing.
But it can be worn. Can it be worn though? I mean, could you actually wear it if you wanted to?
Oh yeah, it's got the buck. It's got where you can snap it together.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. Well, whatever the situation, I'll look forward to seeing it. The $1,000 belt.
1,000. It's over 1,000. So it was 1,000 and some dollars.
Okay. All right. Well, I will.
Money well spent.
Well, I'm sure it was. It's your money. You're the one who determines whether it's well spent. So that's how that is. You going to wear it to work at all? I guess you won't be wearing it at all.
Oh no, not going to wear it to work. Not going to take it to show it off at work. One of my godchildren says he wants it.
Well, you know, at some point you'll have to leave it to somebody. So maybe he'll be the one.
No, he wants it now. He doesn't want to wait until I'm 6 foot under.
He wants it tonight. Okay. Well, I'll just leave that between you and him.
I told him if he can come down here and take it from me, he can.
All right.
Him and his brother. Me and his brother. my godson Philip and CJ, we used to play wrestle, and I always come out winning.
Mm-hmm. How long ago was that?
This is when they were little boys, and they loved to play wrestle with me. They wouldn't play wrestle with everybody else, but they would come after me every time.
Well, I expect there are a lot of people who'd like to do that. Well, how old are they now?
They're younger than me. I am too old to wrestle with them.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you would not win if there was a wrestling match right now.
I probably would. I might be an old chicken, but I don't surrender.
Okay, sometimes surrender is the best option in situations like this, but I will leave that up to you, and I will look forward to getting that picture whenever you can get it sent.
Okay, I'll go talk to my friend. Thank you, Mr. Ken. I'll talk to you next week, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks for calling. So I apparently I came really close to having a picture of the $1,000 Undertaker belt, but it hasn't quite happened yet. Maybe it'll happen soon. This emailer said, Ken, what do you think of what Alex Jones said about President Trump? Well, I don't think much about it because I don't know. I don't know what Alex Jones said about President Trump, so I won't really have an answer for that. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Ken?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm a little disappointed in Charles from Danville.
Why?
Well, I was hoping he'd send in a picture of his belt, dressed in his tights and everything, sitting on his moped. I'm really looking forward to see that.
Well, I'd like to see that too. You realize, of course, I didn't think about it until you mentioned it right now. We could probably in about 48 seconds whip up an AI picture of that, and maybe I'll try that later.
Yeah, well, that would be pretty cool, Ken. Maybe we can talk him into getting it into the 4th of July parade or something like that,
Well, I don't know. He says it's never going to leave the bunker there or whatever that is where he lives. He says it'll never leave there. So I don't know if he'd want to feature it in the parade or not.
Yeah. I got to make a pick for the race, Ken, this week. And I was wondering who Mr. Draper picked for this week.
Mr. Draper has not given me his pick yet. I don't think he has, unless hang on. It might be in email over here, Mr. Draper's pick. No, I don't have Mr. Draper's pick yet, unless I've missed it somewhere. So you're going to have to go on your own if you want to do it right now.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the 5, Ken, and hope that I can stay in second place and maybe climb some.
All right. Well, now, Mr. Draper had the 24 last week, and you had the 24. And he usually, not always, but he usually alternates between the 24 and the 5. So he might take the 5 again. I don't know.
Yeah, I want the 5 if you don't mind.
All right, well, I don't mind. So you have the 5. Mr. Pelham has the 5 for Pocono. It's in the book.
Thank you. Yeah. Got big plans for the weekend?
Oh, it depends on what you consider big. I'm going to cut the grass, and then I'm just going to wing it after that. Just sort of let it happen.
Okay. Yeah, I got mine knocked out today, Ken. Got it mowed and weed eated, so I try to heat it about once a week, but I'm going to ahead and got it today. But it's really going to get hot and humid this rest of the week, I think. I thought today might have been a better day to get it done, so I went ahead and got it knocked out.
Well, let me kind of correct what you said. You said the rest of the week. I think probably the rest of the season is when it's going to be hot and humid.
Yeah. Well, I think they predicted, around 98, 99, something like that for the latter part of the week. And I know the first of next week is going to be that warm. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
I'll tell you,
that's from now until September.
yeah, pretty much. That goes along with the Farmer's Almanac, does it not?
The Old Farmer's Almanac, again, people don't like for me to get started on the Old Farmer's Almanac. But I have to say, the Old Farmer's Almanac prediction for this year has been right on the money so far. I mean, right on the money.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty accurate prediction, I think. I mean, how can you go wrong the way they predict, right?
Well, I hate to bring this up, but I know everybody's wondering. Have you located your bank accounts yet?
No, sir, Kim. I pretty much given up on it. I'm still going to call Kevin Kennedy just for the, stuff and giggles, but I'm just slowly but surely drawing it out, and I've got my account set up with State Employees Credit Union, and hopefully that'll be by the end of this month. That's what they're telling me anyway. So,
So you're drawing it out $100 at a time.
Yeah, well, I did get lucky yesterday. They let me have 500. So,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, well, that'll speed things up.
yeah. I'm still waiting for those checks so I can put in my new folder. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, you got the plastic checkbook holder, but they haven't sent you the checkbook yet.
No, I saw the mailman just ride on by again today. I said, well, I guess no news again today. So,
Well, there are any
Yeah.
number of things that you could keep in that folder. It doesn't have to be checks. You could keep your driver's license in there if you wanted to. You could put receipts from various places could go in there. That's a pretty useful thing.
yeah. Speaking of driver's license, I went by the DMV office Monday around lunchtime, and the parking lot was kind of full. I said, well, shoot, I'll give it a try. So I went in, scanned my stuff, the phone thing, and I waited about an hour and a half. And then they said, well, you can text back leave if you decide to leave. So I did. So I still need to get it done before September, though.
So there was still a line then, I take it.
Oh, yeah. The waiting room was full, plus the lobby was full. I mean, it was a mess, kid. I don't see any difference than it was before this ID thing expired. I mean, the real ID expired.
Real ID. Well, I don't know. I have not gone and looked since the day I got my license, because I saw as much of it as I needed to see just in those 3 days. But I was thinking maybe it would slow down a little, but apparently not.
No, and I did go by the Social Security office, a couple of times getting my things changed over. And I was really impressed how they operate over there, Ken. I mean, I went over there the other day just to double check everything was on the up and up. And, I came right before lunchtime, I guess it was, and the room was full. Well, within an hour and 5 minutes, I'd say, those people had gone through the whole room full of people. I mean, they were really efficient. They really impressed me.
Well, good. It's good to hear about a government office being efficient.
Yeah. I was impressed, and where they were.
I don't really know what to say about that. It's unexpected.
Miracles do happen sometimes.
Evidently.
Yep. All right, Ken. Have a great weekend, man. I really enjoy your show.
Thanks for calling. Wow. High level of efficiency at the Social Security office. That's good to hear. The phone number is on the screen there. The email address is keneckelslive@gmail.com if you'd like to give us a call or send us an email. This one says it's not. Scroll. Hi, Ken. Mr. Leaksville here. I went out on a limb last week with my pick, but it paid off. It sure did. But this week, I think I will go back with the best NASCAR driver in the field, Kyle Larson. Have a great weekend. All right, Mr. Leaksville. Mr. Leaksville cleaned up last week by picking SVG, he and Leon, and that worked out. And now Mr. Leaksville is going back to the conventional pick and taking the 5 for Pocono. So that's number 1 and number 2 in the standings have both taken the 5. Haven't heard from number 3 in the standings, Mr. Draper, yet, whether he's going to take the 5 or not. This one says, Ken, just to inform you, I will tell you what Alex Jones said about President Trump today. Alex Jones said that President Trump has gone back on his word that he would not get us involved in any more Mideast wars. And Alex Jones said that the president is making a huge mistake if he gets us involved in a war in the Middle East. And Alex Jones said that he is extremely disappointed with President Trump in that. Now you know what Alex Jones said today about President Trump. Okay, thank you, emailer. Now I know. Now we all know. So stay tuned on that. We're in a kind of a ticklish situation there, and we'll see what happens. Hey, this is Jack. Put me down for the 45 this week, Tyler Reddick. All right, Jack is taking the 45. Tyler Reddick for Pocono. And then Jack adds that annoying question that he always asks, and who is your pick, Ken? I don't have one yet. I'm thinking. Well, thinking might be too strong a word for it. So let's just say I have not yet decided who my pick will be for this week. I guess I'm thinking. I guess thinking would sort of apply in a loose kind of way to what I'm doing. Ken, is there any more news about that great white shark off of the North Carolina coast? And is it a threat to people? Well, I haven't heard any particular about the great white shark off the North Carolina coast. It's been there, and I guess I don't know if it's still there or not. This is a shark that has been tagged. That's how they know that it's out there, and that's how they know where it is, because it's one that they were able to tag some time ago, and they're able to track this particular shark because of the electronic tag that it has on it. So as far as I know, it's still hanging around off the North Carolina coast. And is it a threat to swimmers? Asks the email. I think it would be wise to always consider a great white shark a threat to swimmers. I don't know. I don't know under what circumstances I would not feel threatened by a great white shark if I was in the water. I don't know how close to the shore it is now. I haven't seen any more reports now. But again, it's got this tag on it, so they know where it is. And I would hope that if it gets into an area where a swimmer might be likely to encounter it, certainly they would raise some sort of warning and let people know about that. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark Median.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thank you.
That's good. When are you gonna make it to Checkers?
Well, I don't know, Mark. I don't know. I will get over there one of these days, but the lunchtime part of my day sometimes is kind of complicated. It's not always easy for me to take a drive across the county at lunchtime. But when I get to the point where I can tell you when I'll be coming to Checkers, I will let you know.
Yeah, that's Checkers Grill and Grocery in Madison, North Carolina.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. My mom, she's up there working night. I know Citizen D said something about he been to Checkers before.
Yeah, I think he did. Well, a whole lot of people have been to Checkers. I've been, just not lately.
Oh, really?
Oh, I've been.
When's the last time you went to Checkers?
Probably 10 years ago, I'd say, maybe a little longer. It's been a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, a lot's changed. Well, ain't a lot changed, but the ownership has changed or whatever.
Well, I hope they didn't
Since
change the
then.
menu because it was good.
Yeah. But I like calling spicing up my Checkers or whatever. But why has Charles not been on lately?
Why has Charles not been on? You mean Charles Rourke, our fearless leader? That Charles?
Yeah.
Well, he took a cruise. I don't know if he ever came back from his cruise or not. Have you seen him since the cruise?
I seen him on TV. I've seen him on TV since then, but yesterday it wasn't on.
Okay. Well, I don't know why he wasn't on. Maybe he had something else to do. Maybe he was trying to avoid the police. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 All right. Thanks, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling, Mark. Take care. Okay, phone line is open up there at that number. The email address is keneckleslive@gmail.com. And a few more emails over here. This one says, Ken, can you tell me something about Medicaid? Maybe. Are there work requirements for Medicaid? And is Medicaid free to the person who receives it? There are no federal work requirements. In fact, that's what the bill in Congress right now, that's what it would do regarding Medicaid. It would create work requirements for Medicaid. At the federal work requirements that all states would have to follow. But right now, until and unless that bill becomes law, there are no federal work requirements for Medicaid. States have the option of having work requirements for Medicaid. As it's actually states, of course, who are the ones who are administering Medicaid. One state that I know of, Georgia, has work requirements. There may be other states that have work requirements that I don't know about. But I know that Georgia has work requirements, and they have, they enacted that, I don't know, two or 3 years ago, to see what would happen. And then I believe they're supposed to revisit that in a year or two and see if there's something else they need to do. But anyway, it's a state issue. Again, at the federal level, there are none, but that is that's the big change that the current bill would make in Medicaid would be work requirements. I think, there's the House version of the bill, and then it went to the Senate, and the Senate has been fooling around with it and changing things in different ways before it goes back to the House. So all this is in process and changeable. But basically, I think the federal requirement would be that a person work or have some form of community engagement, is the word that's in the bill, for 80 hours a week. Community engagement would be volunteering volunteering somewhere to help people, or going to school or getting job training or having a paying job for 80 hours a week. So that's what is in the federal bill until or unless somebody changes it. However, again, right now, it's just Georgia, as far as I know, that has work requirements. And there was the other question. There's another question. What was it? Is Medicaid free to people who receive it? No, not as a rule. Again, that varies from state to state. Each state has its own rules on that. And I'm not able to recite exactly what the rules are in every state, but they vary. In general, a person on Medicaid pays one of two things, and in some cases, maybe both. They either pay a premium, a monthly premium based on their income and their ability to pay, or they pay a copayment when they receive service or receive a prescription or whatever they receive. They pay a copayment on that, again, based on their income and their ability to pay. In some states, maybe they pay a premium and a copayment based on their ability to pay. I don't know. There's 50 states and 50 different sets of rules. But no, the answer to the question is in the general sense, no, Medicaid is not free of charge. So that's how much I know about that. Hello, Ken. I heard Pretty Man's email last night. Sounds like Pretty Man is getting kind of touchy about being in last place. And I thought his comments to you were rude and ungentlemanly. This is from the Avenger, by the way. I thought his comments to you were rude and ungentlemanly. But what more do we expect from the likes of Pretty Man? I, the Avenger, stand ready whenever necessary. Stand ready whenever necessary to step up to Pretty Man and smite him. No, let's not be smiting anybody. Step up to Pretty Man and smite him as need be. Okay. All right. I don't want to get involved in any smiting. Even Pretty Man really does not, I don't think, deserve to be smitten. So let's not go in that direction. Ken, I have a question about the extra tax deduction that you said we will get. Well, no way. I didn't say that we will get it. The extra tax deduction that you said we will get, okay, starting next year. If I am married, which I am, and I am over 65, but my wife is not over 65, do we still get the extra tax deduction, both of us, or does just one of us get it? Well, let me be clear again. I didn't say that we will get that tax deduction. I said that's something that the Senate and the House have proposed for the bill that's currently before Congress. Well, it's before the Senate right now. But I do know the answer to the question. If you are over 65, and I assume you and your wife are filing jointly, if you're over 65, when you file, you claim the extra deduction for yourself. That would be in the House version, $4,000, in the Senate version, $6,000. You claim it, you get it, but your wife doesn't get it unless she is over 65. So whereas if you were both over 65, your extra standard deduction would be $12,000. In the case that you've married a much younger woman, evidently, your combined extra standard deduction will be the $6,000 for you. And then whenever she gets to be 65, then it would be $12,000. That, of course, assumes that the tax law is still the same when that happens, whenever that happens. So it's only if you're over 65. And that's how that would work. Again, if that passes. There've been some more complaints from senators saying they want to change this and that in the bill. And then after that, some more complaints by people in the House who have said, well, if they change this or that, then I won't vote for the bill when it comes back to the House. And that's going to be a very close thing because, as you recall, it only passed the House by one vote. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Ken, this is George. Look, see, I get Medicaid and Medicare because I get Medicaid. Medicaid is paying for my Medicare, and I'm hoping for that $50 raise in January where I can go to the Y, because the woman that runs the Y, she is one hot tomato. Thanks for taking my call, sir.
Okay, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. And the woman at the Y, I'm sure she thanks you as well for that. For that very, very kind comment. And I guess we just let that one go. We don't need to comment further on that. Let's just answer this call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Ken?
Hey, early bird. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Is it true that you can go to the YMCA and join if you're over 65 and don't cost nothing?
You know, I don't know. It was not true. I know it was not true a few years ago. I knew somebody who was over 65 and joined, and they had to pay. Maybe the Y has made a special rule now. I don't know.
Well, somebody told me that if you're over 65, you know, it don't cost you nothing.
Well, maybe that may be right. They could have made that rule in the last few years.
Ken, what do you think about them firemen? They want to cut the vacation pay and sick pay.
You know, early bird, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Where is that?
That's in Winston. They was going to cut the fireman. You know, I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I suspect being a fireman's a hard job anyway. But anyway, make a long story short, I was asked you about that. You know, them wanting to cut the pay and the vacation, you know, in half. But what's the most money you ever found?
The most money I ever found?
Yeah, just found it, just walking down the street. You know.
Well, it's now since you asked me, I found a $20 bill. I found a $20 bill once right on Scale Street in downtown Reidsville, right there close to the Big R. I found a $20 bill on the sidewalk.
Well, I was doing some construction work for Wells Fargo over on 5th Street, I believe, and I was coming back from Burke Street on 4th Street right there. And I was across the street to go back to Wells Fargo. I was on dinner break, so I went down to Burke's Pizza and got me a piece of that pizza.
Uh-huh.
And you wouldn't believe what was laying on the sidewalk when I was coming back.
What was it?
$100 bill.
Wow.
Yeah. I just picked it up, stuck it in my pocket, kept walking. Wasn't nobody around or nothing. You know, it's construction, you know, but it wasn't nobody around or nothing. I don't
know what else to do. When I found that 20, I feel kind of embarrassed now that I only found 20. But when I found that $20 bill, I looked around. Is there somebody around here who might have dropped this? And there was not one single soul anywhere around. So
Well,
I put that in my pocket too.
There wasn't nobody around when I picked it up. You know, it was right there where there was a couple of restaurants where I had to cross the street, get back over on the sidewalk to go in Wells Fargo and
Now, is that in Winston-Salem?
Yeah, I was over there working. I had a little job over there, just a construction job, helping this guy that contracted
Yeah.
through another company. And I found that $100 bill. I just stuck it in my pocket and went on.
Well, maybe the Lord put that $100 bill on the sidewalk for you.
It might have been. I might have been, but that's the most money I ever found was $100 bill. But anyway, I just wanted to call and ask you about that. What's the most you ever found? And that's the most I ever found was 100.
Well, you're way ahead of me.
Okay, but I'll let you go. Let somebody call in. Bye.
Well, thanks for calling. $100 bill on the sidewalk. As far as the fireman, I'm sorry I'm not familiar with that story, but I certainly agree with what Early Bird said. Being a fireman or firewoman or firefighter, that is a very hard and dangerous job. And not knowing any of the details of that story, I won't say anything specifically about that, but in the general sense, I think they deserve all the benefits that they can get. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
All right, Ken. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, look, I noticed that the Civic Credit Union is advertising on other networks, and they advertising for new business and offering attractive rates. What good is a rate if you can't get your money?
All right. Well, now hang on a second, just so everybody understands. This Civic Credit Union, this is the one that Mr. Pelham is involved in, where for over almost 2 weeks now, he's not been able to get any information about his accounts. So you saw an ad for them. I haven't seen that.
Yes, I think it was on Channel 2, Greensboro. I saw an ad where it says Civic Credit Union, and they was giving the attractive rates and all. And I said, I wonder if Mr. Pelham looking at that.
Well, maybe even he doesn't know where his money is and he cannot get at it, but maybe while it's out there, wherever it is, it's earning good interest. Let's hope so.
It may be. Look, Kenny, question that I have for you.
Yeah.
Now that law enforcement are wearing masks and all in camouflage, when citizens are approached by men wearing masks and all, how do you know the good guys from the bad? And if you packing, what do you have the right to protect yourself? Cause they don't identify themselves and all. They picked up that girl and throwed her in the van. In many cases, you see them, they just got camouflage and got mask on and all. So,
all right.
Why the law enforcement wearing masks?
These are, my understanding is, these are federal agents who work undercover, and that's why they don't want their faces photographed. Now, in most cases, and I'm not going to say in every case because I don't know that for a fact. In most cases, I think they are accompanied by uniformed officers who are not wearing masks. I think. I don't know that there's
some cases they're not.
Okay, well, if there are cases where you're walking down the street and you are just accosted by men wearing masks and they don't identify themselves, which they certainly should do. If they don't identify themselves and they're wearing masks, and if you took out your concealed weapon and shot one, I don't know how that would go in court. I don't know. I would think that you would certainly have a defense to make if you could convince the judge that you didn't know who these men were.
Yeah, 'cause criminals wear uniforms and things too. Like that guy that went to those homes in Minnesota. He
Yeah,
had a uniform on and identified himself as law enforcement.
and he had a
So I
car.
mean, huh?
Had a car. Police.
Oh,
van.
that's right. He had a car also. So how that puts a burden on a citizen to distinguish when you approach and these criminals and carjackers and all of that, they not beyond claiming if they have it on, claiming to be FBI or claiming to be something else. But I mean, the person has to decide right there on the spot, am I being approached by a criminal or agent? You know?
Well, I mean, there have been crimes, and a good number of crimes over the years committed by people who are posing as police officers, and I mean we
Yeah.
know that happens. That's why there's
Yeah.
such a stern penalty for impersonating a police officer. But a police officer is supposed to identify him or herself as a police officer. Even if they're wearing a mask because they don't want their face photographed.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason they're doing that because these are supposed to just be undercover.
I believe
Officers.
I think these are officers who work undercover, and they
Okay,
that's why they keep their identity.
ICE, most ICE agents undercover,
I
or
don't know.
how does that work?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, all right. And one other thing, Kent, Republican Senator Mike Lee posted on his tweet that the killer who killed those innocent loving couple in Minnesota, and then he went to the house, killed 2 more before he wounded them, before he ran off and got caught. Well, he was posted on there that this killer was a Democrat who had a list of Democrats to kill on his list. And so it's since then he's taken it down and it's been debunked and everything. But I mean, you have a grieving family and grieving community, 2 grieving family causes, 1 dead and the other 2 was seriously wounded. So you have grieving families and individuals and all like that. And it's a low down shame to post misinformation to score political points.
Well, I wish that we wouldn't try to score political points out of a situation like this. I wish we wouldn't, but we do.
Yeah. And lastly, tomorrow is Juneteenth Day, and I just say that so we remember that, so we never do that again, because that's a black eye on the country, and that wasn't a very proud thing that happened. Okay,
Juneteenth tomorrow. That's right.
All right, Ken. Thank you and enjoy your show.
Well, thank you for calling. Phone line's open at that number. The email address is keneckelslive@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you either by phone or by email, whichever works best for you. Let's see. This emailer says, perhaps people are confused about free YMCA and Medicare. Through Humana Medicare, you can get a Planet Fitness membership. Some YMCAs have silver sneakers via either Medicare or Medicare Advantage. people need to check the handbook for each or call Medicare or Medicare Advantage company. And that's a good idea, emailer. It might be part of your Medicare coverage, and you should check on that. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello?
Hello, Ken. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Fine, fine. Let me ask you a question. Is the Circle Drive-In in Eden still open?
The Circle Drive-In? Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know, the little trays that they used to put on your windows, they
I
still
know.
do.
Yeah, they do that again at Dick's. I don't know if they do it at the Circle Drive-In or not, but they brought them back at Dick's Drive-In.
I think they still do it at Circle Drive-In.
Well, they may. I know I've had a whole lot of those trays attached to my window at the Circle Drive-In and at Dick's.
Oh, yeah, and Circle Drive-In had some of the best hush puppies you'll ever eat in your life.
Oh, man, that's the truth. I used to go down there every Thursday night. I don't know how it got to be Thursday, but it did. Somehow it got to be every Thursday night. Me and a friend of mine would go to the Circle Drive-In, and we would get the shrimp in a basket, and we would get the shrimp in a basket and the hush puppies every Thursday night. And boy, that stuff was good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, me and my wife, we've been going there for, I know, 50 years, you know.
Oh, it's been there a long time.
And they told me that the owner died and he left it to the employees.
I didn't know that.
And I think the employees run it now.
I didn't know that. How long since you've been? How recently have you been?
It's probably 8 or 10 years ago.
Okay, because I wonder if they still have the shrimp in a basket. I wouldn't mind having another order of that. I may go get me some of that.
Yeah, but let me ask you another question. I think 1966, did you have a little Mustang?
Mm-hmm. White.
I remember you picking me up at Sadler School, carried me to Ruffin School. I was a freshman, and I don't know if you was a junior or senior, but you carried me to Ruffin High School.
That was 1966, and my white Mustang.
It was a white Mustang.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to tell me? I mean, you don't have to give me your name if you don't want to, but I'm curious as to who you are.
I'm Henry Ward.
Henry Ward. Oh, now I remember. Absolutely.
And you picked me up at Sadler School, and you carried me to Ruffin School.
Yeah, I did. And for some reason, you didn't have a ride that day. I don't remember what had happened.
Yeah, but you played basketball for Ruffin High School.
I played some basketball. Yeah, I did.
And you was one of my greatest fans.
Well, I'm glad I got you to school that day. Who knows what would have happened if you hadn't made it to school that day?
That's exactly right. Well, enjoy your show, and I appreciate talking to you.
Okay, thanks for calling. Yeah, I did. I sort of ran. I didn't exactly run a taxi service in those days. When somebody needed a ride somewhere, everybody knew I had a car, and so see Ken Eccles. You can probably get a ride with him from wherever you are to wherever you need to go. So I guess I was of some use to somebody in those days. Let's see, we're just about out of time, and we still have emails unread over here. So let's see. Ken, it seems that our democracy, as we know it, is being dismantled faster than Grant through Richmond. My main concern, says the emailer, now is how safe is Social Security and Medicare? Do you think my concern is justified? Well, there are always questions, and they've been questions a long time about Social Security and Medicare. Social Security, the Social Security Trust Fund right now is on pace to be depleted, I think, in 2033. It's not far in the future. I believe 8 more years, the Social Security Trust Fund will be depleted unless Congress, and only Congress can do it, unless Congress does something to prevent that. Now, that doesn't mean Social Security benefits would stop. It would mean that if the trust fund is depleted, then Social Security would only be able to pay, I think it is about 70% of current benefits, which they'd be able to pay through the money that they regularly take in through the Social Security tax. But again, unless Congress changes something, and Congress doesn't seem to be real anxious to do that, the Social Security Trust Fund will run out of money in 2033. Medicare, I think the Medicare horizon is a little farther into the future than that. I don't know exactly when it is. It's not way farther into the future, but Medicare is on a somewhat of a longer time frame than that. But the fact is, unless Congress acts to shore up Social Security and Medicare, that they will run out of money. I mean, it's not a complicated thing. If they're spending more than they take in, then eventually they run out of money. So it's going to be up to Congress to do that. Congress certainly ought to have a strong interest in doing that, because it's hard to think of anything that would endanger a congressman's reelection more than letting Social Security and or Medicare run out of money. So Congress will act, I think. I mean, it only stands to reason that Congress will act, but everybody who has an interest in those programs, and that's just about everybody, ought to regularly remind their congressman that something needs to be done about that. And I think that I urge everybody to do that. This emailer says, anyone who disrespected the 250th Army Parade also disrespects all veterans who bled and died, including myself, so people can have their First Amendment. Vice President Vance's anniversary, also our flag, also this country. They disrespect all those things, making them low individuals of hate. And here is Mr. Draper, who is, as we speculated, Mr. Draper is taking the number 5 for Pocono. So, well, we know the top 3 is not going to change this week because they all got the same driver. They all have the number 5, Mr. Leaksville, Mr. Pelham, and Mr. Draper. Hello, caller. We got about a minute. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Ken, I sent that picture to 336-496-0260.
All right. It should be showing up any time now. I will look for it as soon as I get off the air. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. So maybe I'm going to have my picture of the Undertaker belt. Well, I'm going to look for it now because we're out of time. That is all the time we have for Star Talk this week. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Echols.